Think about the last piece of technology you bought. A new phone, a smartwatch, a pair of wireless earbuds. Now look at what they all have in common. They're all things. They are rigid pieces of glass, aluminum, and plastic that you have to strap to your wrist, shove in your pocket, or glue to your face. For the last 30 years, our relationship with tech has been defined by the device. We build the tech, and then we figure out how to carry it around. But what if the next giant leap in computing isn't a device at all? What if it's the clothes you're already wearing? Right now, in high-tech research labs from MIT to Switzerland, scientists are pulling off a magic trick. They aren't sticking flexible circuit boards onto fabric. They are turning the fabric itself into the computer. They are engineering microscopic, flexible fibers where the sensor, the conductor, and the data line are built directly into the thread. We are moving away from wearable technology, and we are entering the era of invisible technology. And it is about to change everything from healthcare to robotics. To understand why this is such a big deal, we have to look at the lie we've been sold about wearable tech. Don't get me wrong, smartwatches are great. Millions of us use them to track our steps or check our heart rates. But let's be honest, they are fundamentally awkward. They are bulky, they scratch, they have battery lives measured in hours, and they require a screen. If you want to track your sleep, you have to wear a mini computer on your wrist to bed. If you want a truly accurate read on your heart, you need a rigid strap cinched tight around your chest. The tech industry has hit a wall with hardware. We've made microchips as small as they can practically get for consumer devices, but we're still forcing humans to adapt to the machine. You have to remember to charge it, you have to remember to put it on, and you have to look at a screen to interact with it. But what if your interface wasn't a screen? What if it was the sleeve of your jacket? Or the couch you're sitting on? This is the core concept of smart textiles, or e-textiles. For nearly a decade, material scientists have asked a fundamental question. Instead of attaching electronics to a garment, why can't the garment be the electronic system? Now, when you hear smart fabric, you might picture something stiff, scratchy, and terrifying to put in a washing machine. But the breakthrough happening right now is all about keeping the fabric feeling like, well, fabric. Take a look at how institutions like MIT or the Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, EPFL, are doing this. They aren't wrapping copper wire in cotton, they are using advanced polymer chemistry. Inside a single strand of thread, often thinner than a human hair, they are layering materials. In the center, you might have a highly flexible conductive core, sometimes made of carbon nanotubes or even liquid metal alloys that can stretch without breaking. Surrounding that core are piezoelectric or piezo-resistive materials. Fancy words, but the concept is beautifully simple. When you stretch this thread, compress it, or bend it, the internal electrical resistance changes. If you run a tiny microscopic current through that thread, a computer on the other end can measure that change in resistance. Because it's built at the molecular level into the thread, it can detect the absolute slightest pressure. We're talking about a fabric that can feel a single teardrop landing on it, or the subtle expansion of your chest when you take a breath. And the best part, because these are polymers, they are soft, they are breathable, they can be dyed different colors. And yes, they can be thrown into a standard washing machine and spun dry without destroying the sensors. So, where do we actually see this showing up first? The most immediate revolution is happening in medicine. Imagine a premature baby in an ICU. Right now, they are covered in sticky, painful electrodes and rigid wires to monitor their vitals. Now imagine replacing all of that with a simple, incredibly soft cotton onesie. The fabric itself continuously monitors their heart rate, respiration, and temperature, transmitting the data wirelessly to the doctors. For elderly patients or athletes, an everyday shirt could track posture, muscle fatigue, and early signs of cardiovascular distress throughout the day, completely invisibly. But it goes way beyond humans. Let's talk about robots. Right now, robots are incredibly strong, but they are fundamentally numb. They don't have a sense of touch. When a humanoid robot picks up a plastic cup, it has to use complex vision algorithms and motor feedback to guess how hard to squeeze so it doesn't crush the plastic. But if you wrap that robotic hand in a tactile sensing fabric, you give it something humans take for granted: a skin. Suddenly, the robot can feel texture, it can feel slip, and it can detect pressure across its entire chassis. This is the holy grail for collaborative robots that need to work safely, right alongside humans. And third, the environments we inhabit. Tech giants and automotive companies are looking heavily at this for the future of smart interiors. Think about your car. Right now, the dashboard is a sea of plastic buttons or massive distracting touchscreens. Companies are already experimenting with integrating capacitive touch fabrics directly into the upholstery. Want to turn up the volume? Just swipe your finger along the fabric of the armrest. Want to adjust your seat? Tap the door panel's cloth lining. The interface disappears until you need it. Alright, let's do a quick reality check, because whenever we talk about deep tech like this, it's easy to get caught up in the hype cycle. Every week there's a headline claiming, "New discovery changes everything." The truth is, making a 3-inch piece of smart fiber in a multi-million-dollar university clean room is easy. The real boss bottleneck in hardware is always scale. If you want this to matter, these high-tech fibers have to be able to survive industrial, high-speed textile looms. They have to be woven at the same speed as a regular pair of Levi's jeans, and that's exactly the milestone we are starting to hit. Companies like Nextiles are working on bringing force and stretch-sensing fabrics to sports analytics. Tech giants have already run massive pilot programs, like Google's Project Jacquard, which successfully wove gesture control threads right into consumer denim jackets and backpacks. We aren't waiting for a scientific breakthrough anymore. We are just waiting for the manufacturing supply chains to catch up. The biggest shift in wearables may be when they stop looking like wearables at all. For decades, we've been forced to adapt to our technology. We've carried it, strapped it on, and stared into its glowing screens. But the companies and scientists who are successfully turning sensors into fabric are doing something much deeper than just building better clothing. They are fundamentally redefining how humans interact with machines. They are making the technology look like us, soft, flexible, and completely integrated into our world. So, the next time you look at a smartwatch and think about upgrading, you might want to wait. The future of computing might not be on your wrist. It might be sitting right there in your closet. What do you think? Would you wear a shirt that tracks your vitals if it felt exactly like your favorite cotton t-shirt? Or does the idea of putting on a computer change how you feel about privacy? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into the tech changing our world, and I'll see you in the next one.